Welcome to The Passion Pod with your host, Chris Johnson. Thanks for joining us. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the feature presentation.
Welcome back, friends. Today we're sitting in Studio P, aka my dining room, with a local guest that won't be local for much longer, well, for some period of time. Our guest today blew up on TikTok by posting hilarious video after video after video for the last couple of years. You can scroll through on your own when you have time. Originally from the neighboring town of Chippewa Falls, she's now making the move to sunny Los Angeles, again at some point here, to star in a new comedy show that TikTok's doing on their channel. So you're going to have to follow that too. Welcome to the show, local celeb, Grace Reiter.
Thank you.
You're so much more famous than me, even locally.
I was in volume 1.
Yeah, I know. So was I.
Oh, you were?
Today.
Oh, today.
Yeah, so for the first time, I wish I had one sitting right here, but
oh my gosh.
For the first time, you know how a couple pages in, there'll be a full page thing that says like arts, you know, and then another one will be like activities, right? For like the sections.
Well, I mean, I don't read print media,
okay,
so.
Yeah, I know no one does. Well, some people do. Anyways, it's a full picture of me. It's the biggest my face has ever been in print.
Nice.
Outside of something I've printed.
It's kind of exciting.
Yeah,
it feels official.
It's pretty tight. So yeah, I got that, and then there's actually an article about season 9 of the show that's in there. So we're both local celebs.
We're both local celebs.
Yeah. I tell people that like when I'm out in LA, I'm like, I know no one here knows who I am. In my little town, people know who I am, but that's because everyone knows who everyone is.
Right.
So it's not like incredibly impressive. But you actually have a lot of people that know who you are. So you start. I mean, I don't even know how TikTok hardly works. Like I'm aware kind of. But when did you get on TikTok? Just for a perception of like, you're at what, 1.7 million as of when I looked yesterday for people that look at your stuff, which is an incredibly large amount of people. When did you start that account even?
2019, my senior year of high school, like January. So like right when the ball dropped, basically.
Oh, gotcha. When you had way too much time then sitting alone and you're like, I'm going to make these really lonely videos.
Yeah. It was like right when TikTok kind of turned, or it was originally Musical.ly and then it turned to TikTok.
TikTok was musical?
Musical.ly. It was like an app where you would like lip sync to songs.
Yeah, and dancing and stuff. Yeah. Okay.
But then it turned more into comedy. At least like early on, it was really silly, funny, weird videos. And like, obviously it's changed now. It's a little bit different. But yeah, so 2019, yeah.
Okay, so before we get too much into it, who are you and what are you passionate about?
Oh, okay. I prepared this because I knew this was the one question that for sure I was ready for. I am passionate about people, I think. And comedy is just one, I guess, way of meeting people and interacting and also looking at life. I think storytelling too. So people and their stories and the things that they do.
Telling other people's stories or telling your own story or inspiring people to think about other stories or other points of like viewpoints.
Yeah, all of that.
Okay,
just
cool.
people. I don't know. It's very vague
you
and broad.
Connecting with people.
Yeah.
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 Well, that's the cool part about the internet. I mean, it's a different way of connecting with people, but at the same time, you could never connect with 50,000 people over a 10-second video. Like you couldn't do that in person anywhere. 50,000 people aren't going to like show up in person to see you.
Right.
But
unless you're
on
like
the
a
internet,
musician or something, I guess.
Well, I mean, maybe
really
at one point, maybe you will be.
At one point, yeah.
So how can people best follow you, see your stuff, laugh at your videos, and get in contact? I'm assuming it's TikTok, but like what are the handles across the social medias and all that?
Yeah, Reiter Grace on TikTok. If you want to get a whole
Reiter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Reiter, which everyone thought my name was like a pun, like reiterate, Reiter Grace. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, they thought I was like really smart. I didn't even know. I wouldn't even know how to spell reiterate. So I was like,
that's because you went to Chippewa. Sorry,
I went to Chippewa. Yeah, no, that's why. But yeah, so Reiter Grace on TikTok, Reiter Grace 1.
Yeah.
On
because
Instagram.
It was taken?
And honestly, I think I have the Reiter Grace 1 account because I wanted to start a photography account like most people do.
Sure.
And I swear to God, I have the Reiter Grace just account, but maybe I don't know. So yeah, Reiter Grace 1 on Instagram. And if you want to get in contact with me, it's probably the best way. And then I also stream on Twitch, like very casually, but that's Reiter Grace as well on Twitch.
Sure.
So.
What do you stream on there? Is you just one of the many people that plays a video game and people want to interact? I've never understood why that's a thing. I don't get it.
It's just I have a little community. I mostly started it because I wanted to spend more time with the people that follow me and like interact in longer form content.
Yeah.
So it's literally just I'll go live and sometimes we'll, like last night, my streams are very like not scheduled or like uniform at all. It's just I'm like, oh, I want to play this game. I'll play Dead by Daylight. I don't know if you're familiar.
No, but
You play as like a killer.
Okay, cool.
Or a survivor. Anyways.
Sure.
And but so I played that and then I got bored. So then I made a tier list of like all the Barbie movies. I was like, oh, this one's the best one with my sister. And then, yeah.
But really, it's just a way so that way you can interact with people
Yeah.
where you're not like having to respond to a million DMs. It's like, hey, I'm right here. You can just say stuff and then I'll answer on my time and then we'll go on with life.
Yeah. And I feel like it's more like I have a Discord too. We get to like kind of talk and I feel like I'll remember their usernames, their names, and we kind of just chat. And so I feel like it's a little bit more personal than
Sure.
TikTok. Just
Okay.
some random comment. Yeah. So that's that.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean because through responding to comments and the little brief interactions, if I have to type out like full responses to have full conversations with people, it's really hard to actually do that.
Yeah.
So like finding some other way to do it. I think that's why a lot of people do the Instagram lives too.
Yeah.
Where they can just pop on and it's like everybody that I haven't been able to like sit here and talk to, I'm going to hop on here right now because I want to talk to you.
Yeah.
And this is like an easy way to do it. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're from Chippewa Falls. Have you lived in Chippewa Falls forever? Like, were you born there? Did you grow up there?
I was born in Verona, like just a little south of Madison.
Okay.
And then we moved back when I was like in first grade. So basically, yeah, from
Okay.
first grade on, yeah. Just
Yeah.
kindergarten I went to in like the Madison area. But yeah.
Sure. Were you always into comedy like stuff? Did you do like forensics and stuff growing up? Or no?
No, I had terrible stage fright. My friends did forensics. I never did the school play or anything like that, which I wish I did, but I was just too scared to like actually do it. But yeah, I was like friends with everyone who did that stuff though.
Sure.
But I mean, I was always into like movies and I guess I was naturally just kind of
You're just
quirky
funny.
little funny person. Yeah.
You're just always funny. What kind of, so you're a bit younger than me. Social media for me, it wasn't really like a thing when I was growing up, you know, like Facebook came out when I was like a senior. So no one cared really yet. It wasn't a big part of life. You know, MySpace was around, but like no one, it just didn't have much effect on what life really was. You didn't have an online persona. You know what I mean? Where nowadays, like people are a character online versus whatever. What was social media like for you before? Because TikTok came later. Were you like big on Facebook and all the other Instagram or doing whatever? Were you always doing stupid, funny things like posting them or like what?
Yeah, I was making videos mostly for like my friends. So I've always been making, like as soon as Instagram came out with the video feature, I like posted a video. And I was like, because I think I've grown up with social media. So YouTubers were like my celebrities. So I wanted to be like them. And I was like, oh, I want to be a YouTuber. Because I think ultimately it was like Disney Channel. I was like, I want to be on Disney Channel. And then I slowly saw my Disney Channel child star dreams slipping away. So I was like, okay, I'll be a YouTuber. And then I was like, damn, that's a lot of work. Oh, can we swear?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I got to edit things out during the radio. But
Right, yeah.
Yes, it's
I was like, dang, I want to be, or what? Yeah, I was like, I want to be on Disney Channel. I was like, I'll be a YouTuber. And then I'm like, oh my goodness, that's a lot of work. So then I was like, 1 minute videos on Instagram was a lot easier. So that's what I kind of did.
Well, and they're just low production value.
Exactly.
You know,
it was
like half
faster.
your videos that have a lot, like I noticed looking through a bunch yesterday, the ones that had production value didn't necessarily have better view counts. You know, the funniest, like the ones that had the most were just like you at Ace Hardware.
That's
like,
that's what it does. Yeah. Or like people just laying in their bed.
Yeah.
Like those.
Yeah.
That's just
stupid things that you think of to say that are really funny.
Yeah.
So I guess they're not stupid. They're really smart because they made people laugh.
I guess, or related to it in some way.
Who are the YouTubers that you were a big fan of?
Probably like Smosh growing up. I like Smosh. I mean, problematic now, but Shane Dawson, I did enjoy some of his stuff. Who else? I watched like Simmers. They would play The Sims. I would watch someone else play a video game.
That came out after me as well. Like I said, I know that's like a thing. I don't understand it, but I know that's a thing now.
I think it was because I didn't have the game, so I wanted to watch people play the game because I didn't have it until I bought the game.
Did you end up buying the games and then playing
Yeah.
them after the fact still, even though
Yeah.
now you know everything that's going to happen? Doesn't it ruin
Well,
the
the
surprise?
Sims is a sandbox game. It's like a life simulation. So
Yeah,
it's
well,
like,
yeah, Sims has been around since I was like, that's always been around.
Okay, yeah. So
Yeah,
you can't
yeah.
ruin the Sims, even
Yeah,
if
I
you
know,
watch
but
whoever.
but the Sims, you're living a life. You could just live your own life. Like, you never-
I know, but it's like my Sim is so much more successful than me. So much
well,
better.
I don't know about that.
I
Okay.
can do the mother load cheat.
So, getting to success, you started working at Ace Hardware at some point, which obviously has like a whole big thing within your TikTok channel as
guess,
it
yeah.
is, which
Yeah.
it took a life of its own to a certain degree. When did you start working at Ace? And you don't work there anymore, right? I saw
No.
like your walk away from Ace. It was like, I wonder how many people, I guess I should have written down the number, how many people watched you say goodbye to Ace Hardware. But
I
like,
know. I'm honestly surprised with how many people really enjoyed me being at Ace Hardware. Like, it honestly wasn't a bad job. I really enjoyed it. And like, there was talk like when I left that I would come back and work there, and I haven't heard anything from them. And I'm kind of like, maybe I'm not going to go back. I don't know.
oh, you're still thinking about going back and working
Well,
there.
because I was like,
You left to go to LA.
yeah, I left to go to LA, and I was like, I guess I was like, I mean, they were like, yeah, absolutely. If you want to come back, you can. So I don't know. I guess it was
And
kind
this
of
is
like,
the Ace in Chippewa?
yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, by the family fair. But I guess I'm sorry. What was
How
Chris-
long, when did you start working there? How long did you work there?
I worked there like probably like a year ago, March.
So it was only like a
March
year that
something.
you worked there.
Yeah, it wasn't that long because then I got like the job offer in like December or something,
Oh, okay.
and it was only like a part-time job.
Okay,
kind of
so
vibe.
fill me in on the TikTok thing, right? So
Yeah.
you had TikTok. How long did you have TikTok before it, like the pandemic hit, where all of a sudden you were like doing it all the time?
I guess I was.
Like, did you have it and it just was like you're just
trying to
scrolling
think.
other people's TikToks for a year before you're like, I need to do these things? Or was it immediate when you got the account, it just started to blow up right away?
Yeah, like 2019 when I got it, I just started posting, and then I think I remember. Does that timeline make sense? I don't know. I remember Thanksgiving, one of my videos. So maybe it was. I feel like it was Thanksgiving of my senior year though. So maybe I actually got it a little bit before, but maybe like 2019. I don't know. Maybe my timeline's messed up because I remember Thanksgiving, like watching one of my videos go to like 1,000 views, and I was
Yeah.
like, Molly, look. My sister's name is Molly. I was like, oh my gosh, look, my video hit 1 million views. I was like, and I remember that at Thanksgiving, but maybe like in January is like when I started to post regularly, maybe.
Sure.
So that's when I say like, oh, that's officially when I started because I started
Sure.
to post like more often.
And that happened after you went like viral with one video already?
I would say like there was.
Like, I'm trying to understand the timeline.
Yeah. I guess like I would just post, and then like one video got maybe like 26K likes, and then post a little bit more, and then one hit like a little bit more. And then I think like officially like the most viral one I had, like I pinned it on my thing. Wait, should I look at it? You want me to see the date?
Yeah, sure, if you want
Okay.
to.
The most viral video I had was in, oh, let's see. 2019, 11/24. Okay, so that's
Yeah. That would've
November
been-
24th.
Yeah, that would have been Thanksgiving. Or right around.
Oh my God, I don't even know my own story. I don't even know my own. Yeah, so no, this one got 2 million likes, 13 million views. Holy shit. Oh, holy crap. No, I didn't. So yeah, I guess that one. And then I like immediately, it just blew up. Because I think I was at like the sweet spot of TikTok where it was right at the beginning.
Yeah.
And it just went up. And from then it's just plateaued. But I think that's how TikTok works. Like, honestly, you see some people, they'll have a couple viral videos and they'll just skyrocket and then kind of
Yeah,
plateau. Every once in a while, I think it's just kind of how it goes.
Yeah, I've had a few friends. I had a friend who had like 2 million that I interviewed. His account just got taken down.
Oh,
That's like your whole career. Like, what?
Really?
No, seriously. His name's Garrett. He's like a swamp people kind of guy down in Florida, and he like plays with alligators and big pythons, and because it's like dangerous. His
they
account
took it
was
down.
getting like taken down, and then it would come back, taken down, and then it would come back. And then I went to go show it to somebody the other day, and like his Instagram, all of his social media is just gone. And I'm
that's kind of TikTok. Yeah, they've
But anyways, he said the same thing. He's like, once all of a sudden on TikTok he became a creator or whatever the thing is within it, that it just like curbed everything.
Yep.
Because that's when you all of a sudden can make money and TikTok doesn't want to pay. So
yeah, TikTok's weird. They have I don't know if like you want to get into that, but it's like, yeah.
Sure. Yeah. But the pay is weird. So I've told people a lot of times that I don't personally think TikTok is going to be around long term. I think it's going to lose to Instagram, in my opinion, for a bunch of reasons. But one of the reasons is that they're not paying their creators effectively, and they're not giving their creators a way to make money consistently.
Yeah.
Therefore, people that are going to be putting their whole careers into a platform, they don't want it to be there.
Right.
Like all the people I know that are on TikTok are funneling people to Instagram regardless.
Reels,
they're trying to move their people there anyways. You know, they're using it to like net people and then move them somewhere else that's a little safer. That seems to be the case. Anyways, what was the first video that like really popped off? What was it? Why was it funny? Why did 2 million people care? 13 million people care?
Well, because it was a Harry Styles fan fiction parody. The kids love Harry Styles on TikTok, at least.
He's really good looking.
Yep, they love him. And so at the time, the making fun of like Wattpad, which is like a fan fiction site, sort of like the tropes of fan fiction was kind of popular. Okay. So I was like, oh, I want to join. So it was kind of a trend. And then I just made that video, and that one, people like that. So
what was it though? Like you were fan fiction. Like what was the scenario?
Version?
Like what was it?
It was like the girl was taking a shower and Harry came in to go pee, and she was
like,
I
saw that one. Okay.
Yeah. And she was like, Harry, like I'm peeing, and he's like, don't worry, like, I'm just gonna do it real quick or something. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I know it's.
Well, see, this is the difference between what comedy used to be and this form of comedy.
Yeah, and then what comedy is now, just I guess piss humor.
Yeah.
Pee humor.
Okay, so why do people follow your humor? Because it definitely is a lot of potty humor and shit like that.
I ask myself that question.
Is there any method at all to like the madness of you posting?
I like to think that, I don't know. I like to think they just think I'm a funny person. They like to watch me do stuff sometimes. And I try not to overthink it, because the second I overthink it, I get like existential about it. I'm like, I don't know.
Well, so when I interviewed Sven Johnson a while ago, he like has a list in his phone. Every time he has an idea for a video, he'll just like log them. You know, and then he'll always be looking and going, okay, well, what could I realistically do? All right, I'm going to try this one. Like, this will be good. Do you like have ideas and write them all down and have them ahead? Or are you just like sitting on your couch and you're like, hey, Molly, you know, it'd be funny. Let's do this. Because it kind of comes across like that's what happens.
Yeah, I would say that's kind of TikTok. It's a lot of TikToks. At least I guess a certain type of TikToks, you can very much feel I feel like the conversation before this was, hold on, I have an idea for a TikTok, and then you just film it. I would say that's kind of like mostly my thing is I'm like, well, let's do this. I don't know if I put much thought into it. Some of them I do. I'm like, oh, like I do have the Notes app. I'll put notes in there once in a while.
I think everyone has a Notes app. I don't think you take it off.
Yeah. No. Who deletes the Notes app?
Yeah. I put grocery lists and stuff on there too.
I put notes in there and video ideas, I guess. And
so then what's the difference between before you before it blew up and then all of a sudden it blows up and you're like, okay, so this obviously has an opportunity to be a career, at least for some period of time. It's a career. How does your mindset change? What do you like? Do you spend more time thinking of ideas? Do you still just go, you know what? I'm not going to change my lifestyle at all. I'll just still work at Ace and go eat at Culver's, and some of these videos will make me money. Like, how does it change?
That is such a good question. I've kind of just been vibing, honestly. I think, and honestly, that might be my downfall is I'm like, hey, the universe like gifted me this, and I'm just going to like coast. But I think especially now, having gone to LA, I'm like, and some of the people I worked with, seeing how much work and effort they put into their craft, I'm like, okay, there's only so much of like, I guess natural talent can get you, and eventually you're gonna have to like get your butt in gear. Yeah. And I'm kind of like at that the edge of like, okay, let's do this, but I'm a procrastinator and lazy person at heart, I guess.
The problem is you end up like losing the fun a lot of times with it, so you have to try to have that balance, but it's really hard to have that balance. You're crushing it. So enemies, how do you deal with trolls? You have to have them. When you have anytime you get bigger and bigger and bigger, you're going to have more people that don't like you. Even if it's 0.5% of people that see what you do that don't like you, that's still a big number over time. How have you adjusted to people just being complete piles of garbage?
Luckily, I really haven't received that much hate. I think there was like one video where like a bunch of, and to be fair, the video like wasn't that funny, but they were a bunch of these guys were like, women aren't funny, and that really hurt my feelings. So I called one of my TikTok friends, and she just kind of talked me through it. And I think it's really difficult in the moment to know that whenever people are mean or hating you, it's always a projection of their own insecurities.
Hurt people.
Oh yeah, beautiful.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've heard it somewhere else. I didn't make it up, but
no. But I'm like, it's really hard to like recognize that, because obviously it hurts and it like really sucks. But I really haven't gotten that much hate. The only thing, like, maybe they'll say I'm fat, and then that's about it.
But you like joke about that anyways.
Right. I mean, it is different like when you joke about it, and then when someone else does it, and then you're like, but mostly that. And then like, I guess just the not funny stuff. I think that's really the only, I mean, I'm sure there's other things they can make fun of me for, but that's mostly the only two that I've seen.
Sure. Well, I imagine like it gets more and more difficult over time. We have a cat on the table. Yeah.
Yes.
It gets more and more difficult over time as more and more people see it, because people are going to continue to critique you, and people critique me all the time.
Yeah.
So for how TikTok works, because I don't really understand it.
Yeah.
If somebody wants, so let's just use my analogy here.
Okay.
I'm going to use you as business advice. Instead of paying you a rate, you just came here for free, and now I'm going to say, hey, you can tell me how to do this.
Yeah.
Well, so like TikTok obviously could be very useful for a lot of people. I interview people that are pursuing careers based on their passion. So a lot of them are creative entrepreneurs. So it's a platform that is potentially helpful, not just funny. But if I wanted to make a TikTok channel for the show, what would be like the main basic things that you could tell me that would help me make that not suck?
Well, haven't you already posted clips of
I
it
do
on Reels though, or something?
Well, I do Reels all the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would just post those on TikTok.
That's it.
That's it.
How do you even I don't even understand how the captions work in it. You can't like,
you can edit the
return
captions.
that. Like, how do they work? You can't even like enter to like bring it to a lower level. You just have to space a bunch of times. Like, how are they supposed to be formatted even? I don't understand.
The captions? There's like an auto-generated captions, and then you can go in and edit them.
No, I'm not talking about the captions that say like when I'm talking, and those are subtitles. I'm talking about the caption at the bottom.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah. But I mean, like, because I don't even understand how like hashtags or anything work on it. Is there any method to it, or do you just like?
I think in the beginning people were doing hashtag FYP for you page. I think for you, I don't know, because I think the hashtags help people when they're searching for something.
Sure.
Like sometimes, like, I mean, just today I went on quilting TikTok because my grandma got a quilt, and I was like, maybe I should
a quilt, or she made you a quilt?
No, she bought one. And then I was like, maybe I should.
Grandmas shouldn't buy quilts. They're supposed to make quilts.
I mean, she used to. She used to. But yeah. So I think it could help you narrow down. So maybe just hashtag podcast, and then maybe hashtag passion pod. So it can be like refined to like your specific.
Sure.
So when people click on the hashtag, they can see the other things. But I think I would honestly like, sometimes I use hashtags as comedy too. I'll be like hashtag whatever, you know?
Sure.
I think maybe my view of the hashtags or captions are more like just an added layer of either like context or humor for me, but I think for you, you could just do hashtag podcast.
I think what I'm gonna have to do is just like steal your channel, steal your phone, and then just post to it blatantly. Like, you should listen to my show.
Yeah.
Cross promotion, but really you're just promoting me. Cool.
Yeah. I'll just post. Yeah, and now they have stories on Instagram, or I mean TikTok. I don't know if you saw that new feature. They have stories.
Seriously, so I downloaded it recently, and I posted like 3 of them. One has 0 views. Like none, and I'm like, I don't understand it. Okay, anyways,
that happens.
I'd love to know some of the relationships that you make, so how did the LA trip come to be? So like, I went to LA because I met this fashion photographer who was from here. Ooh. Yeah, really? This was a while ago. This is the first time I went out there. His name's Max, but he
Max, what's the last name? Spooner?
No.
There's lots of Max in the world.
Yeah, well, his I can't think of his last name all of a sudden.
Oh, that's okay.
Well, anyways, yeah, no.
I was like, I know a Max. Here's the max that I know.
Yeah, well, his Instagram was Visual Dirt. Now it's Flow State Farm. But anyways,
Okay.
He asked me to come out to LA with him because he was going to be doing like shooting a bunch of people, and he's like, hey, I could set up some interviews for you. Then I can get some shots of these people while you're doing interviews and whatever.
Nice.
I met him when he was back in town because he's from here during the pandemic visiting family. So like that's how that came about, and that opportunity popped up for me, and then everything kind of moved from there. But for you, how did you meet your friends out in LA? Was it exclusively through TikTok? Because now you're friends with a bunch of the other TikTokers and stuff, but like how did any of those relationships start?
So the
Max Menaker. I couldn't think of his last name.
Nice,
Okay,
nice.
continue.
So the Staple View project I got through my manager, and then I met all of them there. But like the other,
How'd you get a manager? And
she
why?
DM'd me on Instagram.
Oh, cool. And who's your manager? Is she like out in that zone? Like how did that relationship work, and why did you want one? Why did it matter?
So she reached out to me March 2020. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, so a long time ago now.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah, it's 2022.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so she reached out to me and she was like, hey, are you represented? And I was like, no. And then we called, and then she got me some auditions, and then I was like, so like, what are we right now? And she's like, I guess like I'm your manager. And I was like, okay, like I guess you're my manager. And so she's my manager, and that's how
Cool.
that worked.
What were the auditions? Because you couldn't do auditions in Chippewa.
Oh, they're self-tapes. So it was just like, I would just send it in.
Okay, and what do they use them for? Did you get any jobs out of that? Because I'm not familiar with anything you've done outside of TikTok, and then this last LA trip that you did that wasn't that long ago.
Yeah.
So like, what were these auditions for?
I guess I'm a struggling actress, I guess. Well, yeah, I'm an actress.
Okay.
Or I would like to be an actress.
What did you act in?
Staple View. The Staple
Okay.
View thing.
Yeah, but before like
Before nothing.
Oh, okay.
Nothing.
But
yeah.
how long ago was the Stable View thing?
3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago.
Right. So she was your manager for 2 years before you got anything?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I got another job that like, I had to like, I don't know, it was like a VR job. I did that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But then how did you pay her if you didn't? Or was it like, is she like a percentage?
Yeah,
of,
like 10%.
Yeah, but I mean, so she did all that work trying to get you a job without getting paid at all? Her pay is only a cut of what you end up making?
Yeah. She has other
Wow.
clients though,
Well, yeah, I
who are
mean,
like
yeah, of course, but still.
grinding.
Oh, okay,
and then I'm
cool.
just kind of here.
Okay, well,
So,
I
yeah.
need a manager, so I guess I'll just hit her up.
Yeah. No, she's great.
Okay, cool.
I don't know if she does like well, no, she can do podcasts, so she can hook you up.
My only problem is like when
I guess I was on Drew Barrymore's YouTube channel.
What did you do on Drew Barrymore's YouTube channel? You were the like fourth Charlie's Angel, or what?
I was she's got a talk show, the Drew Barrymore show.
Yeah, okay.
She's got a little segment called Banana Moors, which is her like comedy club. She has like a character that she plays like a comedy club host. So I did, I guess, well, what I thought was stand up. I tried. I had my hand at it. I did that. So that was that. Yeah. I guess.
Like you flew out there, or did you do
Oh,
stand?
no.
How did you do it?
They mailed all of this stuff. They mailed the microphone, the backdrop, the camera, the tripod, a laptop.
Like Drew Barrymore's people
Or
sent
actually, no,
this
they
to
didn't send
you
a laptop. Yeah.
because they had already.
Because it was during the
selected you.
pandemic, so she was like, yeah.
So she knows who you are. You guys are besties.
No, but she said my name.
Okay.
And maybe like, I'm sure it was like the producers were like, you got to get this TikTok star. They're
And that's
hip and
kinda how it
cool. And then Drew Barrymore was like, okay. And she read my name off a teleprompter or something.
Okay. Well,
I'm
it's
sure
still,
that's
I
why
mean,
I've
it's still pretty cool.
Yeah, no, it's cool.
Oh, it's still pretty cool. Okay,
Yeah.
so then, and the reason I mention a manager is just because I work literally all the time, constantly, and because
Yeah.
people who are creators don't understand. Well, they know their value maybe sometimes, but everybody who wants something from you doesn't want to admit your value. So everyone tries to get you to do things for free or for cheaper than what you
Yeah.
should, and a manager gets you what your value should be, and that's so much more than what you normally would charge that you can still afford to pay them. That's how much you undercharge yourself or like undervalue yourself in a lot of situations creators do. And I'm in the same boat where I understand that it's like beneficial for people to be promoted and stuff, and I get it. And it's not like I have a huge base or whatever. But because of that, people hit me up all the time, and I'm like, I can't interview and promote everyone because I don't have anyone to edit all my stuff, and I'm not getting paid either.
Right.
So because I'm not getting paid and you're not getting paid, no one's getting paid.
Yeah.
I only like have so much free time. So that's like where manager roles come in. So what was the deal with the LA thing then? Like the Staple View. So what is the Staple View thing?
So the Staple View thing is just a group of TikTok creators, and
A group
put
of how many?
together
Like 8?
Let's see, Sydney, Jane, Demaya, Dylan, Gray, me, Sarah. 7. There was going to be 8, but I don't think we could find like another person. So there's 7 of us, and then we just made TikToks. We had writers to write some TikToks. We wrote some TikToks. Editors. We had.
Were the ones you did better or the writers?
I think. Well, I mean, I really only came up with one idea, honestly. But the writers are very talented and awesome and funny people in their own right.
What was the scenario like? Was it like a content house? Like everyone moved in the house like Big Brother, and you're all like, "Oh, let's just film stuff for 3 weeks." And
well, that's what I was like. I was like, guys, let's like live together because we're a lot of them were from out of state, and so we moved to LA to do this.
Yeah.
And
do you know how they got selected and why? I mean, obviously because people were funny on TikTok, but like, do you know what the criteria was for it or anything? Did any of you know each other ahead of time?
I only really knew like of the like one other TikToker that was mentioned. Actually 2. I knew two of the girls, Sane and Garrett. I'd seen their Sarah and Jane. I'd seen their TikToks. But the criteria, I don't know. I met with Sam Gray, the producer who like put everyone together. And then he was like, I'm doing this thing. Do you know any funny people? And I was like, yeah. I was like, I sent him a list of some of the people that I enjoyed watching. And I think he did the same for like other people he spoke to, and was like, you know, who do you think would be funny? Who do you want? So it's just kind of, he was like, I think he was just on TikTok scrolling, finding people, and
just cast a net, eventually whittled it down.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Okay, so how was the move then? Did they line up a place for you to live for a month, or like did you get a hotel, or like what? I guess how did it? You got the job and you're going to get paid X amount, and you're going to pay your manager however much amount, right? But then, how long were you out there? What was the process of going out there? What was the scenario like?
Yeah, I flew out with my mom and my sister, and we were there like last week, January. Because it started February 1st, Staple View. Okay. So we flew out, and I just sublet an apartment with
Did they pay you to do that, or you just used that out of what you were going to get paid, basically?
Yeah, I just used it. Yeah, they didn't like put us up anywhere or anything like that.
Oh, yeah. Bummer. I feel like they definitely should have. How helpful was that trip, you think? Because now you're talking about going back out there again, but it's obviously incredibly expensive. Did you make a whole lot of different connections within that world that gave you the idea, like, I need to be out here? This is where everything's happening. Because that's what it is a lot of times, right? Is people go out there for a project and they're like, well, the only way realistically I can get whatever done is I could be out here because this is where everything's happening.
Yeah, I think I met really good people, made some meaningful connections. I hope lifelong friendships. But
sure.
I think it was more so just kind of like I saw a glimpse of like maybe what my life could be like if I really tried and worked with other people and lived on my own. And I don't know. You know,
on your own right now?
No, I live with my parents.
Oh, killer! So you're gonna go straight from that in Chippewa Falls to LA.
Yeah. And so I was kind of like, oh, like this is what my life could be. I can wake up and go for a walk. Which I guess I could do that here, but like I could go to
wake up and go for a walk.
Yeah, I'm like, no, I can't. I gotta go downstairs and play video games all day, like a gremlin. Yeah.
So what? Just because LA is cool, like for getting stuff done, and there's really cool people there, absolutely, and the weather's warm. But I don't like much else about LA personally. What are 3 things that you like about LA that were like decent enough reasons to want to go there? Like for moving there in the future, not for like going out for a paid gig. Obviously, you're going to do that.
Yeah.
Because right now, like your sweatshirt, people can't see when they're, listening to audio, but it's like a perfect like lake scene with loons straight out of Minnesota, which is like beautiful. You can't, that's not in LA.
That is true. I did miss like pine trees when I was there. I was like, and kind of weather. Although it did rain like a decent amount when I was there.
Sure.
But
yeah, what are some reasons why do you even want to go there?
I think just career, like if I want to pursue acting, I think I should probably be where they're filming things, and because a lot of times roles are require like an LA local, and so because maybe they don't want to like fly someone out, and all that. So I think maybe that, and also maybe stand up. Like I feel like I'm gonna have to try to do stand up one day, and I'm like,
you don't want to do stand up, or you do?
I mean, I don't want to. No, I don't want to do it at all. But I have to. I have to try and like go up and speak in front of people. And
why do you think you have to do stand up?
I think for the performing experience, because I've never, like I said, I didn't do forensic, I didn't do theater. I think it would be a good experience, and I think I should at least try.
Sure.
Try, and maybe if I don't like it and it doesn't work out.
How come you didn't just do it here for like Pure Water? No, not Pure Water. What is it called? Clearwater Comedy. With like Colin Ryan and all them.
I didn't even know that was a thing, and also I'm scared.
We have big comedy here. We have Tom Segura coming here this fall.
Nice.
You didn't even know that? Yeah.
Well, because I'm not into like I don't know. I was never into stand up.
Well, what kind of acting you want to do then?
I don't know.
Like, what's a dream role?
Dream role. Maybe like a Marvel movie.
You want to be the superhero, or like what character in a Marvel movie?
I want to be a superhero. I tell everyone this. I want to be Squirrel Girl. I don't know who she is. I don't know what she does. I saw her.
You haven't figured it out yet.
I saw one picture of her and she had kind of big thighs. So I was like, oh my God, she's
Oh wait,
fat.
that's an actual, that is a current fictional being, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, she's you can Google her, Squirrel Girl. She can talk to squirrels.
Okay.
She can talk to squirrels, and she can fight people. And I was like, okay, I mean, if I was going to be anyone in the Marvel universe, it would be Squirrel Girl. But I guess maybe that, I don't know, like I don't know.
Do you want to be in comedies? Like, do you always want to do comedic?
Yeah, maybe like
stuff?
like the Anchorman, like we mentioned briefly, like kind of like a
Anchorwoman,
90-minute comedy. That would be great. Star in it, maybe be like Melissa McCarthy or something.
I got to introduce you to Kim Crawl because she's out in LA and she's hilarious and she does stand up and all that stuff.
Oh, perfect.
So that'd be like a perfect person to you to connect with.
Perfect.
You can read her book before you go out there.
Oh my God,
She has a book that's just her like dating horror stories over the years. That's all it is.
Oh.
It's so funny.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's really good. So I was mentioning kind of off mic before that people out in LA, there's nothing wrong with it because I get it. People are busy and you're out there intentionally. You live there for a reason. It's not because you enjoy kicking it in LA. Like people are there to do something, right? So when you're there, usually people, when they're talking to you, they're kind of figuring out like, what can you help me with? Can you connect me with somebody? Like, how could we potentially work together? And it's not necessarily in a bad way, but it's very, very draining for me. When you go out there and you're working with these other TikTokers and whatnot, and assuming you're going to go out there and the friends you have are in the TikTok world and whatever, when you're with those people, is it pretty intentional? Like, do you guys plan stuff out? Are you working or are you just hanging out?
I think like the people that I met up with, I feel like I only really met up with 2 people out there. But I guess, I was intentional. We walked around Griffith Park. We hung out. I think like towards the end when I met Tucker, we went to the Bridgerton ball thing. I was like, okay, like I need to make some TikToks. Because at that point I had been making TikToks for just the Staple View account. So I really hadn't been making them for my account. So I think when he came, like we were kind of like, oh, let's make TikToks. It'll be like kind of fun. And I think it's natural. Like you're just hanging out and then you're like, oh, should we like maybe film this or do that? I don't think.
But you don't like sit down in the morning for half an hour and say, okay, what are some things we could get done today? There's no like business side of it like that.
No, I guess like he had his podcast. He was like, hey, do you want to like do a podcast episode for fun? And I was like, yeah, sure. And then after you want to go hang out with my one friend at Saddle Ranch, I have a idea for TikTok. You want to do that? And then we went and did that, and that's what we did. So I guess it was a text like, want to do this? Want to do that? Yep, let's do that.
See, this is exactly why I couldn't do it.
Yeah,
I'm like, so I have to have a plan for my days, and I have to know how every person like fits within that plan and what their plans are. I'm a huge control freak. So like if I don't know what we're doing, I'm really struggling, and I'm like, well, I'm gonna go do something else because I have a lot of things to do. I can't just like hang out. I have like I like hanging out with people for sure. Like I have friends where I'm just hanging out and venting and stuff like that exists. But most of the time when I'm hanging out with people, it's like, I need to work on this painting. So like, let's kick it and talk about life, but I'm working on this painting right now.
Okay.
You know, or I'm going to be working on this, or I'm going to be working on that. So I guess being able to let's just meet up and just create content is such a strange career path to me. So how does one leverage, because I don't think people get it. You have the fame. I guess you are famous in your own
maybe like
niche.
A niche, yeah, subsection
right?
of the internet.
So like you have that, but money doesn't follow that on TikTok. Like I know that because I know a lot of people on TikTok, and the money's not, you don't make it from the platform, so you have to make it from product placement and stuff, like deals like that. But you don't really do that.
No.
Like, why do you not have Culver's pay you? You plug them. Why do you not have Ace Hardware pay you? Like, you definitely plug them. They should pay you.
That's a good question too. Yeah.
But I mean, is that like gonna be? Are you gonna start trying to do that so that way this is because what you're doing right now doesn't seem to be super sustainable, right?
No, yeah, not really. I think.
Or am I just like dadding up way too hard right now?
No, I think like that was the goal. I was like, well, you know, actually, wait, no, I met up with 3 people from TikTok. But anyways, we talk, you know, amongst each other about like what rates you're getting and whatever, because like you said, companies will undervalue TikTokers and stuff. And so if one person's like, oh, I made X amount on a brand deal, I made this amount, and then it's like, oh, well, I was getting paid this much, that's okay, so I guess I should be getting paid more. I guess like if I am going to go out to LA, I guess the goal is to hopefully work with brands so I can make a living enough to pay rent out there. But why are they not reaching out now? I guess I really haven't myself like done it. I really haven't like put it out there.
Brands don't reach out to you. It's the other way around.
Yeah. I think maybe like
how come your manager hasn't tried to do that?
I think we're working on that now.
Oh, okay.
Because I have to like get all my analytics together and write a bio and like send all that, and like I've just been procrastinating the analytics. You gotta screenshot them all.
Do you get like stressed out by doing that? Because like even for me, and I don't have numbers, but like when I make a post, I'll still kind of stress out if it doesn't like perform.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because like I know, you know, there is money involved. Not like a ton of money, but there is money involved. So therefore, a lot of things I'm posting, it's not like blatantly an advertising all the time. But even if it's something that's like not an advertisement at all, those numbers are still part of the analytics that go into the other conversations that I have to have. So right. I'm kind of overly focused on it. More focused on it than is healthy.
Yeah,
Do you
I think
have
that's
that problem?
why I procrastinated a little bit getting the analytics tours, because like my TikTok was like underperforming, and I didn't want that to like skew the analytics and then have brands be like, oh, well, she's... But I think there is a place for like micro influencers and like smaller accounts. Like you'd be surprised. There's some people on TikTok who are like, oh, I have 4,000 followers on Instagram and I charge like $100 a post. So I think it's all about like, I don't know, I guess just hustling or like knowing your worth and doing it and trying, like DMing people and seeing who responds, because what they're just gonna say no, whatever.
Well, the thing is, a lot of brands are paying a lot of money to reach 4,000 people.
Right.
They really are, through Facebook ads and everything. So like,
they're valuable. They are valuable, no matter what size you are. Yeah.
No, absolutely. Your value, like if you were to make a post, you know, and Instagram's not even your main platform, but if you were to make a post on that directly about somebody's brand, that's worth a lot of money.
Right.
You know, like I was talking to Dave Yaden on the show. He's a songwriter out in LA. One of my favorite episodes. He wrote that Lady Antebellum song that won the Grammy.
Okay.
And I need you now.
Oh, yeah. Song. Okay. Yeah.
But anyways, he was talking about like, and his numbers aren't crazy. You know, he's got like 40 some thousand or something on Instagram, but he told me off mic the dollar amount that some of these like brand deals are. Yeah. And I'm like, this is how you afford a house in LA. And you don't have crazy numbers. And he's like, right. Yeah. You need to know how to work this game. And I assume that like that's part of what having a manager would do for you. Yeah,
she's not so much specifically like social media manager. She's more like in the comedy world. So I think maybe it's definitely she can get me in those doors and the conversations or whatever, but maybe it's not something like I guess directly on a Reiter, I guess. I don't know.
So what's the time? You said off mic you don't exactly have a timeline for going to LA, but like it's a lot of money. It's a big commitment to move out there. And honestly, even just getting an apartment, you have to be able to prove that you have income or income streams coming in. So what's the plan? Like you have a...
Yeah.
Well, so we'll see what happens.
I'm kind of just like... I am coasting.
Okay, cool.
Like I'm literally coasting.
Well, hopefully this episode is the boost that you need.
Yeah, maybe brands will see this and they're like, yeah, let's work with her. And then I'll be like, oh, look, here's all the money.
For some reason, they're tuning into convergeradio.org to live stream.
Yeah.
I wonder if on this local radio station there's going to be talent.
Yeah, we gotta find the next
exactly what's gonna happen.
Instagram story post. Yeah.
Why? I don't understand. Why are they trends? Why do people not just do their own thing? Why is a trend a thing even? I don't understand it. Like I understand a trend of like somebody wore a shirt that's cool and you're like, cool, let me wear that shirt. But like, how has that become such a huge thing in social media? Do you have any idea or understanding like why people want to do it? I guess any reason why you would wear the same shirt that someone wore, like why people wear Converse or like Vans. It's like, I guess you're part of a community or like an in joke or group amongst people. Like there's kind of like a unspoken like community or like, oh, I get this joke and you said this joke and I get that reference. And I guess maybe why people participate in trends is, oh, everyone else is doing this thing and I want to do it too. And I want to be a part of that. And so, or maybe put their own spin on it or. But why do people want to watch the same thing made by different people over and over and over and over again?
I don't know if maybe they
like
want
it's funny to watch
Shaquille
thing. O'Neal's take on something maybe, but like for anyone else, like why would I guess just because I'm not really on TikTok, I don't really understand why people want to watch that.
I think I don't know, maybe like I don't know if necessarily they're searching for it. I think maybe the For You page, just when there's a trend, I think a lot of it is the algorithm too, is maybe the algorithm is pushing certain things, so a trend will be popular for that time, and that's kind of like just what everyone's doing, and so that kind of is the thing. And then so everyone, I guess that might play a role into it, but I mean, I don't know.
Interesting thought. So what would happen if TikTok disappeared tomorrow? What would you do?
I'd freak out. I'd be like, oh, well, there it goes. I'd be like, that was fun. I don't know. If TikTok went away, I guess maybe Instagram. I guess maybe that would be my kick in the butt to like start making longer form YouTube content. Maybe that would be the kick in the butt I need to really seriously pursue maybe I guess acting more seriously or something like that, I guess. I mean, not that I'm not pursuing it seriously, but just more like refine my craft and and do the grind.
Yeah, I think maybe just because I have kids and like a house and stuff to pay for, I'm like hyper focused. Like I need to make this work.
Right.
Okay, just like hang out. You know?
Yeah, when you live in your parents' basement and they're not letting you, they're not making you pay rent. It's like pretty easy to just be like, well, I'm just gonna like play video games all day.
I like technically live in my parents' basement though. I bought this house from my parents.
Oh, nice.
And my bedroom's downstairs.
Oh,
so
well, there you go.
I like legitimately live in my parents' basement. It's pretty tight.
That's nice though.
Although I mean, it's actually mine. So the Stapleton. Okay, so Stapleton.
Stapleview.
Stapleton.
The Bridgerton sequel. Stapleton.
I feel like that'd be that should be what season 2 is.
Stapleton. We just keep changing the name. Stapleton.
Yeah, and make it more posh.
Yeah.
Okay, so season 2 may or may not be happening.
Yeah, I guess it's kind of up in the air.
Do you think Stapleview like did what it set out to do? What was the goals with it?
I think the goal was just I guess to see I don't know, like if a live comedy show could work on TikTok, or just like to see what that would be like, and kind of like an experiment. And I think I mean, we had like a decent amount of viewers. I think maybe our peak was like 500, but I mean, I think that's good because like they were sitting holding their phone vertical form, you know, watching how long was it? It depended. I think it was like 50 minutes, maybe almost an hour, give or take or something. Sure. I think it was maybe like 11 something sketches. So I think that was the goal, and I think it succeeded. And I think I don't know, like I kind of like, I guess, downplay the things that I do. I think it was successful and everyone was happy with it.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think it did. Yeah.
How did it make money then? What's the financial side of how that worked? Because the numbers aren't crazy. TikTok certainly didn't pay.
Yeah. We're not associated with TikTok.
Right. But that's what I'm saying is TikTok didn't pay the creators of this.
Right. Or push it on their platform
so
at all.
How did they make money? Did they do a lot of like product placement and stuff to it? Or was this just like, we know we're blowing this, I shouldn't say blowing, but we're investing this money
that's
at
what
the
it was.
moment to figure out like where this could go?
Yeah. I think just investors. And they were just like, let's make something. And yeah.
Okay. So are there talks of this going to happen again? Is there any idea if this is going to happen again? Or is it really
Nothing.
just up in the air? We'll just
Nothing
see.
that I know. I think maybe my manager and Sam are talking, or there's talks about it. But
is everything out from what was recorded already? Like, is all the content done?
They're
produced,
still
and
posting.
released?
I think so. You can still. I think there's still content. I think maybe the sketches they might have run out of, and I think now they're repurposing some of the live because they recorded every live stream. So I think they might be taking some of the clips from the live stream and uploading those in the meantime.
How many people were involved? There were 7 TikTokers, but like, how big was this team?
We had a PA. We had I don't really actually know their job titles. Maybe production coordinator. We had a producer. We had how many writers? Pablo Rue, Adrian Jolie. There's someone else. Watch me forget one of the writers.
It's really
Shalik.
hard on
Shalik,
the
5.
spot, as I demonstrated earlier. Like,
I know,
when
to
you're
remember
recording
people's
to think
name.
of something. Yeah.
I think 5. Yeah, Shalik Rue. Yeah, 5 writers.
Okay.
Watch me forget someone. I'm so sorry if I forgot someone. 5 writers, 7 cast, and then we had a director. We had another director. We had 2 editors, and then a 3rd editor who was brought on at the end. Yeah, so it was like a whole family, whole team. Oh, head writer Reggie. I forgot Reggie, and he's from Wisconsin too. And so
The funniest
first
people
day.
are from Wisconsin, apparently.
Yeah.
How many days was this?
How many days? It was 3 months.
It was 3 months, like 5 days a week. You show up at 9 a.m. and you're there till 5 p.m. at the studio, or
Yeah.
like, what was it like?
9:30 to 6:30. We would write, do TikToks, and film them and hang out.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so then when
Monday through Friday.
All right. Well, so we don't have a plan, but so moving forward, what can people expect to start seeing from you? If tomorrow they decided they're going to go follow you on TikTok and hopefully other platforms, like, what are they going to expect to see? Is it going to still be? Are you going to be back at Ace in a couple of weeks? Are you going to be in Chippewa, like reading from your bed from like an unflattering angle on purpose? Like, what?
Yeah. Well, I did. I got a small role in a movie recently, so I'm going out to LA for one day. I have 2 lines.
What's the role?
I don't know. I didn't sign an NDA, so I think I can say, right? If you don't sign an NDA. First time female director by Chelsea Peretti. So that's filming, and that's filming.
So what are you playing?
I'm a protester, and I have 2 lines.
Can you say them?
Can I say them? I don't want to spoil it. That's gonna ruin the whole thing.
All right. Fine.
I do know the lines.
You memorized them.
I memorized them. I was like, these 2 lines, I'm like.
Have you been like practicing them in front of the mirror to like work on your facial expressions?
No, I think I'm gonna do that like the day of. I think I'm gonna procrastinate
that?
until the end. I'm gonna be like, maybe I should like read this script a little bit before I get out there. But yeah, so.
But that's what we can expect to see from you, is just more TikToks of.
In like a year, you'll see that movie. And then hopefully more. Hopefully you'll see maybe like a role where I have 4 lines, and then maybe 5. And then maybe I'll be like a reoccurring character on a TV show.
And then by that point, you can move out of your parents' basement.
And by that point, yeah.
Because
I'll be
enough
gone.
money coming. Okay.
At that point, I'll be like, I can't keep flying to LA and back to Chippewa. I'm like, I gotta live out here.
Did they pay for your flight to go to LA for 2 lines?
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no. I think it was kind of like because this is the thing. They wanted an LA local.
Yeah.
And at the time I was in LA, and I was like, I'm an LA local. And
they could tell you're not an LA local.
And they were like, and I think we decided like, oh, that's I think it'll be a good experience and good exposure, so you should do it. And you might break even on it, but I think it would be beneficial. So
okay,
yeah.
So I was gonna say, nobody is gonna be phased. Like no one's gonna believe you. No one believes me that neither of us are obviously from LA. Like clearly,
yeah.
Obviously.
They're like this. No.
Nope.
Maybe if I had those little sunglasses though. They all have those little sunglasses.
I saw that TikTok that you did, but
isn't that true though?
Yeah.
Sunglasses. I've never been into them, but I think I might.
Yeah, I'm gonna have my own like custom colorway of this shade that I sell at my store. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Well, I've been doing a lot of things through the show. So like I have my own beer that we're working on. I got to just do the can artwork for my beer sponsor, which I'll take a second to mention the sponsors while we're at it, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
But Hop and Barrel's
Segue.
based in Hudson, Wisconsin. They got 2 breweries, one there, one in Spring Valley. They were guests on the show a little while ago, and we're going to do a sour beer that's going to be like my artwork on the can and stuff.
Cool.
So that's going to be tight. So there's a couple cans of that on the table, as well as a sign back here, which was just in the Volume 1 article, which is tight. So I texted him. I was like, check it out. You guys just got free advertisement. Pet suckers.
Nice.
Tight. Volume 1 didn't even catch it. Product
They didn't
placement.
even know.
Yeah. So there's that. And then Steve's Hemp. If you ever go down there, it's actually cool because I painted the entire back half of his store with these big monsters and stuff. Because I paint murals.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's tight. But it's like a, Delta 8 and CBD and all that type of stuff. So steveshemp.com. The promo code Passion gets 20% off. And then Collab UC, which, Pablo Group in Eau Claire, right? They own the Lismore and they own the Nucleus and the Firehouse and the Dive and a lot of places. They own Collab UC, which is like Eau Claire's collaboration workspace. So solo entrepreneurs and stuff, you pay a monthly fee there, and then you have 24-hour access to like this collaboration office space.
Oh, okay.
So you can use their printers and free coffee, and there's computer desks, and everyone who works by themselves doesn't have to work alone in their home office. They can work in this cool space.
That's where Stapleview was in. We were in like a shared
sick.
artist thing. And
Yeah.
I feel so bad for the artists that were with us because they were all like in their own little studio and we were very loud and annoying, unfortunately. But
That's like the point. Yeah. A TikTok comedy, I imagine that's like always what it's going to be. Though.
Yeah, we're a loud rowdy group.
Okay. Well, so you've had a lot of experiences, perhaps one in LA. I told you about this question earlier too. So when you pursue things you're passionate about, this case comedy, you get to have cool experiences that are valuable to you. I know you're like racking your brain here.
I know, I'm like,
and they're usually not like money related. Can you share a story of a unique experience you had that you're grateful for?
I mean, like, would the LA experience could that be the experience? Like
Sure.
the whole trip out there, like,
Well, for people who don't understand, because like if people listen to this show out in LA, because I've interviewed people there, there's listeners out there. People from Chippewa Falls / Eau Claire, Wisconsin, don't ever go to LA. Like never, not one time in their life. That's not a thing we do. So it's, for people here, I think they have a perspective when you're like going to LA was kind of a crazy experience, but people out there, they don't understand. For us, that's like a huge deal that you went out there, especially for something that you got hired for.
Yeah. I think like, so like, wait, just to get really specific about the trip, like, or what I did.
Yeah.
I guess like I was just really grateful to meet everyone. I went to like actually a comedy show.
What comedy
show? Got to watch
show?
not comedy, like comedy shows, like just,
like stand-up comedy.
Yeah. Like in someone's backyard and at some like tiny little intimate little place. I don't even know the name of it. It was by an In-N-Out. Oh, I got In-N-Out.
How was that?
Culver's is better.
It's way better.
Culver's is better because of the options. In-N-Out I enjoy because it's like Cane's.
Sure.
Where it's just like simple. Like I know this is on the menu. I'm gonna get this.
Sure.
But anyways, yeah, Culver's is way better.
Yeah.
But I mean, I got to, I don't know. I guess I just meet people. I guess I don't know. Sometimes I get like, oh, I've got one for you. Okay, let's do it.
Cool.
Let's get into it.
All right.
So I went to the Magic Castle in LA.
Magic Castle? Which Magic Castle? There's a Magic Castle.
Yeah, there's a Magic Castle.
I'm not familiar. Where?
Okay, I'll tell you.
All right.
So the Magic Castle is an exclusive invite only like place that you go to.
I don't know about it, I guess.
I guess. So like to be a member at this magic castle. So it's like it's a mansion owned by someone, and to be a member at this place you have to be a magician. You have to like audition and stuff, and then okay, so they audition, and the only way you can be invited is if a magician gives you an invite. So you come, and it's like formal attire. They have a dress code and everything. Yeah. When you get there, you have to eat because it's like part of like your ticket price, because you're invited for free. You don't. I guess you don't have to eat, but like they're like, could you like eat something? So it's like fancy. It's really fancy.
Like you order food and pay for the food is what you mean.
Yeah. Okay. You order food, you pay for the food, and then it also is because like you're watching a magician perform too.
Yeah.
So they have like little rooms where you go, and they have like obviously like bars and stuff, and you can tour this whole house. They have a piano that plays like
itself.
Irma, her name's like Irma, and you're like, Irma, can you play? Yeah, it plays by itself. You're like, Irma, can you play Enemies by Imagine Dragons? And she'll start going crazy. And they have like little different shows. They have close-up magic. And you just walk around, and there's magicians, and you talk to them. And so I think one really cool experience that I had is with a close-up magician. Me and my friends, we were running around, and I was like, I'm gonna find a magician, and I'm gonna ask him how old magic is, because I'm like, magic's been around forever, right? So I'm like looking around, and there's this like dapper old man sitting on a couch by himself, and this man, I think he had like a bolo tie. I don't know, he was very fancy. I was like, this guy looks like
bolo ties are fancy.
Yeah, I was like, this guy's gotta be a magician. So I'm kind of running around, and I'm like, are you a magician? And he goes, well, I dabble, I'm a whatever. And I don't know, he gave me some like weird answer that I was like, I don't actually know if this guy's a magician. And so I was like, how long has magic been around? And he's like, well, for as long as people. And I'm like, okay, I guess I kind of knew that answer myself. I thought he would have like more to say. But anyways, and then one of the other guys I was with, he started like chatting him up, and he was like, this place is so magical, like I wish I could come here again, blah 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 blah, whatever. And we're talking, and then he's like getting to know us a little bit, and then he takes us downstairs into one of the close-up magic rooms, and he's like, get close, and we're really intimate and close in this little like there's like a little room, and there's like 3 little kind of like steps that go down, and we're like right in the front, and he's like, okay, we're gonna play 22 questions. And I was like, okay, is this guy a magician? That doesn't seem like a magic trick. But he guessed my one friend's thing in like 4 guesses, and so we're like, okay, that's cool. And then he's like, okay, let's we're going to come up with a magic number for all of us. What's the magic number? And we came up with 22. And so he passes this baton around 22 times, and it lands on Faith, one of the girls that was with us.
Yeah.
And he's like, all right, Faith, it's in your hand. And throughout the whole night, he's kind of like, you know, I met you guys because it was meant to be. And he's like, and we're here because we're supposed to be here. And like this, I don't know, he made it very like philosophical and kind of like whatever. And I was like, okay. And he's like, Faith, you can give it to whoever you want. Or not Faith, her name's Paige. Did I say Faith was the other girl? Sorry. He gave it to Paige, and Paige was like, okay, she gave it to me. And I was like, and I opened it up, and it was a little drawing of a dragon that said, Grace, this was meant to be. And what? I was literally like, I almost started tearing up, because there was something about like, I was like, it's meant to be. And then I was like, this is meant to be. I'm on the right path. It was like some spiritual thing. But more importantly, I was kind of like, wow, these magicians are really just kind of like people persons, I guess. They're just like, we just had this like beautiful, intimate experience. We were all like sitting like right next to each other, like thighs touching in this tiny little thing. And you know, what a beautiful experience we got to have, just us in this little room. And I was like, oh, it was meant to be. Like I was meant to maybe like be here and find these people. And so I just thought it was a really cool, magical night. I was like, oh my gosh, the true magic was the friends we made along the way. Like I really like, I know that's cheesy, but I was like, that's how I felt. And I was like, oh, this magician, like, because I don't know, before going in, I was like, magicians? I was like, that's kind of lame. But when they're doing it, I'm like a baby with keys dangling in front of my face. I'm like, I'm like, magic's real, and it's so entertaining. And like, they're I don't know, they're charismatic, entertaining, and comedians in their own right too. And I'm like, wow, I think that kind of solidified, like, I love people, and like, what a silly little thing we just did. Like, some guy did card tricks, and some other guy did this, and I'm like, I was like, how fun is this? Like, we just do this as people. And so that was kind of fun.
You must have kept it, right?
I have
like,
it
framed in your house.
Oh, I'm going to frame that because I'm like, this is meant to be.
No, that's incredible. One of my favorite interviews I've done was with Wayne Hoffman. He's one of the bigger illusionists in the world. He's been on Ellen and like every major show.
Okay.
His stuff's crazy. Like if you just look him up, he's crazy. But he wrote like a motivational like book as well.
Really?
So I read the book, and in general, he's just so personable. Like when you talk to him, the way he talks and the way he presents himself, it's just like, wow, I would believe anything you tell me, actually.
I know. Because I think their magic's more so just understanding people.
It is. So he got a psychology degree.
Nice.
Right. And so what do he call himself? Not an illusionist. Not a psychic. What did he call himself? I can't remember. A mentalist.
A mentalist.
He made up the term.
Yeah.
Because he can like read people's minds.
Yeah.
That's his shtick.
Wait, that's
he reads
cool.
people's minds. Yeah, I don't know how he does it, but
because he just figured out how people think and how they. Okay.
Yeah, and he incorporated that into it. But that's really what it is.
That's
it's
awesome.
The psychology, and it's like the personal interaction that's more than anything. I saw David Copperfield when I was in Vegas. Same thing. Like you would think that like as you get older, you're like, magic's not really this stupid. And then you see it like in front of you, and you're like, I can't figure out how this could possibly happen without it being magic. It's magic.
I know. Yeah. And that's kind of how I felt about stand-up too. I've never seen it performed live. I've only seen it on maybe like a Netflix special or something.
Sure.
And it kind of just felt like, oh, I don't know if I really enjoy this, but it's a way different experience in person because I mean, laughter's like contagious and everyone's kind of like there. And you see the performer and there's like, I don't know, it's different. So I think that was my like meaningful experience and that was like towards the end of my trip was like that last thing. And I was like, oh, nice.
So that's why you knew you were gonna be going to LA, and you will be going to LA. So before that, you gotta like have a plan. So maybe that's part of it. But
yeah, I'll get a planner. Start writing.
Some people, dude. My partner Bree has and she's not the only one I know. Actually, does have physical planners. I thought those were a thing of the past, but apparently they're not.
Oh no, people love like bullet journaling. My friends do that.
Yeah. I don't. Well, anyways, maybe that's my mistake. Can you share a story of a mistake that you made that taught you something valuable that somebody listening might be able to benefit from?
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that one.
Yeah, I mean, I told a lot of them on this show, but then I'm like, I make a lot of mistakes, but I don't think people need to keep hearing them because a lot of them are along the same lines because I still do the same things, you know?
I don't know. I guess the mistakes maybe that I keep making are just the ones that I continue to make, I guess, that I don't really know if I've even learned from them. Is that... I think I know, like, I guess, like, the mistake that I mean is just, like, not taking myself more seriously, like, allowing myself to, like, say I'm a comedian or allowing myself to say I'm an actress or something or, like, being confident enough in saying, like, oh, yeah, I'm going to reach out to a brand or I'm worth this or taking myself seriously because I think, like, going out to LA, I realized, like, oh, I could do this. And other people enjoy my company and maybe I'm not an awful horrible person as I thought I was trapped in my basement and like so maybe I guess I don't know, is that really a mistake though? Because like, well, I mean, I guess I've been doing it and maybe don't realize it's a mistake until after the fact of how much time you've wasted on untapped, I guess, potential or something.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's something to be said for like not taking yourself so seriously and modesty and all that, because people then want to be around you. You know, if somebody has an ego that's way too big, people just don't want to be around them either. But on the flip side, there's like professionalism too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And people, if they don't know if they don't know what they can really expect out of a business relationship, it's hard for them to commit to it.
Right.
You know what I mean? If they know that you're going to for sure follow up and do the things that you say you're going to do in the time frame that you say you're going to do them to the quality they expect, then they're much more willing to work with you. But if it's a big X factor, then they don't want to invest their time, money, and energy into it.
Yeah. And I think that's maybe the mistake that I am making and I myself need to learn from is being more, holding myself accountable and being more. But that's kind of like the beautiful part about being the age that you are though, right? Like when I was talking to Sven about it too, it's like he could just drop out of college because he was already had stuff going on out in LA with Comedy Central and stuff. His career is clearly going that way. You don't need a college degree for that. But you know, he was talking to me about it and he's like, you know, why can't I just enjoy college though for now? Yeah. Like this, I'm enjoying the college experience. It's fun. Like I'm on the volleyball team and I'm just having a good time. Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's because
I've gotten to the age that I'm at, which I'm not old, but like I'm established or whatever to a certain degree, I like forget that you can just do things for fun. And it doesn't have to be anything right now. Like the urgency doesn't have to be there, because when you're younger, you don't have kids or anything else. Like it's okay if it takes you 5 years to get to this next stage, as long as you're enjoying the path the whole time. You know, I just have that urgency behind me because I have to get things done to reach these whatever.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah. But for you don't have that sense of urgency, and that's totally fine. Whether or not you move to LA next year or the year after or in 2 months, in the long run, it probably doesn't have that big of a, like, doesn't matter that much, you know? And you can keep hanging out, eating Culver's in your parents' basement for as long as you want. Okay, so one more time, where can people go follow you, see your stuff, get in contact with you if they wanted to know more about the Magicians or any other part of this episode or whatever? And then how can people best support your habit of eating Culver's in your mom's basement?
I guess just, again, TikTok, Reiter Grace, Instagram, Reiter Grace 1, Twitch. I guess the best way to support me, like, I don't know, just follow me on Instagram, hang out, see what I'm doing.
Share your funny things.
Maybe I could plug my Venmo, I guess, if you want to send me money for coffee. I'm not going to do that. But I could.
You could.
I could.
I put on my Instagram story I have before when I'm in LA, where I'm like, hey, if you enjoy the show and you want to donate, you can buy me a 6-pack right now because I'm working, and people send me money. Not significant amounts, but, you know, $20 here or there.
Yeah. No, I could do that, but I feel like pay my Culver's. Like, I don't know what they would.
Are you going to do shirt? Like, are you going to do merch?
I don't know. I've thought about it, and I think maybe some people from my Twitch might be interested in it. I just don't even know what that would look like. And I also don't even, because I'm kind of the person where I'm like, I don't want ugly merch. I don't want just my face on a t-shirt.
People would buy it.
I guess, but I would also just be like, no. I'm
yeah. No, I
like,
know what you mean.
So I'm like, no. I don't know. So I think, who knows? I guess.
We'll see where the business goes.
We'll see.
Okay. Well, you can also follow the show on Instagram. It's @PassionPod. That's the best way to get a hold of me. I'm now apparently I have to be over on TikTok. Yep. And then just because we're doing this, my TikTok is going to be seen by some people anyways. And then I'm going to hopefully pay attention to it. So I guess you can find me on there. I don't even remember. I think it's Passion Pod Official, because Passion Pod was taken on Instagram when I got it. I had to buy that from some dude in India.
Oh, really?
Seriously, I had to set up a video chat, and the dude was trying to like gouge me for more money. And then I was trying to get the Instagram handle Passion. And at first this person was trying to get $1,500 from me. And then he sold to somebody else, and this guy wants $4,500 from me. And I'm like, I'm not giving you $4,500 for an Instagram handle. Yeah. As much as I want that for branding and everything, not doing it. Not only that, but there's no way to secure the transaction because it's against Instagram's policy to even do it. That's a whole nother story, but you know what I mean? You can't actually do that. So there's no way you could have it lined up to for sure get it.
Right.
Because so like Instagram, if they knew that transaction happened, they would delete the account.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because you can't buy or sell usernames. It's against their community guidelines. Oh. So, yeah. So when I did this other one, that's a dumb little side story. When I bought the handle Passion Pod, because it was Passion _pod, we chatted, not really discussing prices, and moved over to a different app to be able to talk about prices and everything. And then like FaceTimed each other and did the whole thing. Right. So I was in Florida talking to this dude from India. When he was selling me this Instagram handle, he obviously didn't need, and I was like, you can't give it to me for $100. And he's like, no. I'm like, okay.
Well, I mean, hey, good on him for knowing the worth of what it was.
Yeah, Passion Pod on Instagram is the easiest way to get a hold of me. PassionPod.org has a bunch of merchandise and stuff if you like merchandise. Passion Board Shop is my store, so you can follow me on Instagram there, or you can stop by the shop. We have a bunch of Passion merch. Passion's like the brand. So there's a lot of merchandise that's not exclusively skateboarding, if you want to support the show in that way. Or, you know, even on passionpod.org, you can send money that way and stuff too. This is just expensive, and I have bills to pay, so I'm not trying to like beg people for money, but it is expensive. So if you did want to chip in and buy me coffee / like pay for my kids' college, that would be super tight. Thank you so much for coming over to my house. I know it was a really long drive from Chippewa. We'll have to hang out again soon.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of The Passion Pod. We hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. We'll see you soon.